The Reman Project is a coaching and consulting firm specializing in personal and leadership development for adult Black males, seeking to break the vicious cycle of missed potential so that they themselves transform their personal lives, their sense of leadership to their families, and their legacies that they want to leave for business and culture. We destroy this cycle on two fronts. We confront both the institution and the individual. We address the institution because, according to the statistics, Black males are under assault and are targeted for extinction in ways that their white counterparts are not. We are over-incarcerated and under-educated. There are systems in place, political systems, media systems, and religious systems that serve as intentional, or some say unintentional, barriers to the Black male's advancement. As a result, we work to raise public awareness about issues confronting Black males, promote healthy and positive images about Black males, curate spaces to share information and resources about programs, services, and support for Black males, support knowledge creation and dissemination around these issues, and provide a forum for Black males to both speak and act for themselves. We address the individual Black male because we cannot avoid personal responsibility. We are now overmothered and underfathered. We make bad social choices, and we avoid responsibility for getting ourselves out from under the social plight that we face. We will develop the moral compass and character necessary to face the adverse realities that are faced in everyday life. We live by the premise that even that which is not our fault is still our responsibility. In 2019, we answered the call to transform the culture one man at a time. Our society, our families, and men in particular are in a state of crisis. And the goal of the Reman Project is to curate the largest, strongest, and dopest community of Black males in the entire world. We then create awareness and action against the institutional and individual impediments that exist against the foundation of our culture and overall society, which is the Black male.
What's up, y'all? What's going on with you? Donald Morton, good afternoon to you. I hope that everything is going well. I have spent the last hour making sure that all of our platforms that we have a presence on is working, and it seems like it is. So I want to shout out all of our newest platforms that don't necessarily get shouted out often. I want to shout them out because they are joining us today. So let's see who is over on Instagram, right? Let's see who's over on Instagram, so that we can, let me see something here. Okay. All right. Looks like we over here. We outside. We're over here on Instagram. I don't know why I'm not able to see it. Maybe it's this. I don't know, but it looks like I'm live. It looks like I'm live over on Instagram. I'm live on Facebook, inside the group, inside the community. I'm live in a bunch of different places at the same time. So let me take the opportunity to welcome all of you to the broadcast today. Shout out to you for spending some time with us today and for being a part of this conversation that is very much needed. Um, let's see. Let me get back to StreamYard because we've got some people that will be on with us. Let me know that you can hear me. If you can hear me, let me know that you can hear me. Say what's up to me. Holla at your boy. We got a lot of room to cover, a lot of ground to cover, a lot of things that need to be said. As we talk about Black men aren't a monolith, um, addressing our unique needs in today's political climate. I'm here for it. So I want to introduce myself to those of you that don't know me. I am Donald Morton. Good afternoon, Chris. Good to see you. Thank you for hanging out with us. Can you hear me good, Chris? I see that you're with me on Facebook. I want to make sure everyone can hear me. And I don't know why. It just doesn't look like I'm connecting with the audience on Instagram. There's Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr. Uh, he is I called him at the last minute, loud and clear. Thank you, Chris. Called him at the last minute, sent him a text at the last minute. I just want to see if he's on his toes, if he's really about this life that I'm about as it relates to Black men. So I don't give him any heads up. He could be on the toilet. He could be doing anything.
Dude, how you let me put my business out there, man?
Yeah, he said, "Give me 5 minutes." I knew. Yeah, I knew something was up. Leroy, do me a favor, man. See if you see us coming up live on Instagram, man. I did everything Instagram asked me to do
And I think I got a notification, bro. I saw. Hold on, give
that
me a second. I'll
that I was
check.
on.
Yeah, yeah. That it said that you were live.
Okay,
So
that
I
would be
believe it. I just want to check real quick. Yep, you there?
okay.
Yep,
Good,
yep.
outstanding. I did a good job. Pat myself on the back. In the words of Marla Michelle Morton, she always says when I'm feeling myself about something, she always says, "Let another man's lips praise you. Don't praise yourself." She she keep your boy humble, keep your boys solid, keep your boys feet on the ground. So I am Donald Morton. I'm the Chief Visionary Officer of Remand. At Remand, we help Black businessmen interrupt patterns and disrupt behaviors and break the vicious cycles of missed potential so that that man can master and transform his life, leadership, and legacy. Alongside of me today is Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr., who is the impact builder. He is also Chief Operations Officer of Remand and owns his own business, JNF Enterprises. Uh, he is a teammate of mine, a client of mine, friend of mine, a brother of mine, more of a friend of Marla's. I think Marla likes him more than Marla likes me because he defends Lala, right? Um, this is kind
But
of
I will not let her into the Mecca. She
you.
cannot. She
She
cannot
cannot
come
get
into
into
the
the Mecca, but she cannot enter the Mecca. She wants to enter the Mecca, uh,
Mecca.
but she cannot. For those of you that are men, Black men, um, we want you inside the Mecca. We want to hear your voice. We want to have your contribution. We want you to be seen, heard, contribute, and become a part of the movement. Scrolling at the bottom of the screen, what Roland Martin calls crawling, at the bottom of your screen is access to the Remand community. If you're a Black male, go to www.remand.community and you'll be allowed entrance into Remand, the Mecca for transforming Black men with families, that Black businessmen with families. And so we would love to have you to be a part of the community. We would love to have you add your voice. young, old, rich, poor. We're in this together, and we need your voice. Yeah. So today is really about last night. I think Leroy. I think the National Urban League is in its session, its annual session.
Okay,
I
okay, okay.
think the National Urban League is in New Orleans, Louisiana. Let me see where they are actually.
Are they based out of? Yeah.
No,
Okay.
no, I don't think they're based out of New Orleans, but I think that's where the
Like the
national
headquarters is or something like
convention,
that?
the national convention. That's where it
Oh,
is
okay. Got you. Got you. Got you.
this
Got
year,
you. Got
right? Um, and before we go any further, do me a favor. If you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe. If you're hit that bell. If you're watching on Instagram, add some people so that they can be connected to this conversation today, particularly Black men. We want to make sure that, again, you are heard, that you are seen, that your issues that are important to you are recognized. Um, if you're on Facebook, add some people. I guess I should kind of add my followers, right? It's one of the challenges, and we'll probably have Prince kind of begin to do some of this because he knows how to do it. We got to listen. I just shout out to Prince Solomon. Shout out to Prince Solomon. I love that brother. He is our virtual assistant. He is in Nigeria. Phenomenal brother, and so I want to shout him out. So let's see here, and y'all just bear with me. These are technical difficulties. Not really. These are human errors. There's nothing wrong with the technology. These are these are human errors. Let's see, add followers. There we go. All right, so let's work. So Leroy, a lot of buzz, man. A lot of buzz happening.
bruh,
Yeah.
bruh.
Tell me how you
Eh,
feeling about
I,
what's been happening.
I know you. I know you're not on social media a whole lot. And everything like that. But I know you pay attention to things, and especially what's been going on. You can't help it because of
Yeah,
the buzz that's happening, bruh. And
yeah.
I'm, I'm laughing at some of the stuff, uh, and and the other part of me is like, whoa, it's something happening here.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I
For
was
sure.
like, I'm like,
So
man,
describe those two things. Describe the whoa, and then describe the there's something happening here. Tell me what you mean on both sides.
well, they go together. The
Okay.
woe is last night, and I don't know
Oh,
if
you
you
said
if
you
you
were
heard
laughing.
this.
You said one part of it you were
Yeah,
laughing.
laughing.
The
Yeah,
other
I was
part of
laughing.
it
Yeah,
was the whoa, something's
uh,
happening.
I'm laughing. The part I'll give the laughing part first.
Okay.
If you've been on TikTok
Okay.
over the last couple of days,
Okay.
we 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 are always extra. We gonna put something. We gonna add the hot sauce. We gonna add the hot sauce to everything. I don't eat hot sauce, but I know, like my grandmama, she put hot sauce on everything.
Yeah,
Just
absolutely.
because it gave it that kick, it gave it that flavor, it just gave it a little something something.
Absolutely.
And over the last couple of days, I've seen on TikTok, Instagram, just on social media, period, the number of reels.
Yeah.
And you know that our vice president is a part
Yes.
of the Divine
Yes. Oh,
Nine. They done,
I
yeah,
haven't even seen them. I know.
yeah, I ain't gotta say nothing else to it. They done woke up. They done woke up
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
something in that, and I was just like, yeah, this is, you laugh and joke at it, but it's like I said, the woe part is like,
Yeah.
ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a and you and I talk about this from the standpoint of remain in
Yes.
galvanizing men, and that you know me, I'm always looking at things from a different light. I think we both do that. We're not just looking at the surface level stuff.
Yes.
It's like, hey, from a entrepreneurship perspective, business perspective, but different things that are happening. And I'm like, I mean, and I don't know if you're aware of this, but last night, just like the what was it, Sunday, and then the men got together Monday or Tuesday, something like that, the black men, white women
White women.
last night.
Absolutely.
Couple
$1 billion
numbers.
in 30 minutes.
Over 100,000 women showed up.
Woo!
Bruh, it's serious. That's why I was like, oh,
100,000 white women.
it was more. Yeah, I'm sure it was some other women that came
Yeah,
came on
yeah.
there
But
too.
that's significant.
Yeah, shut Zoom down. They had to, like Roland had to with his thing, they had to go to other platforms. They utilized YouTube. They had to utilize, I think, whatever other one that they might have been able to use. But Zoom could not handle the amount of people. And even with the donations, they were coming in too fast for them, they were saying. They were doing something like it was the average, they said an average of $20,000 a minute or something like that.
Wow.
I was like,
Wow.
are you serious?
Wow. Wow. Wow.
So yeah, I was like, it's something going
Yeah.
on here.
Yes. Yeah.
There's a I mean, I don't think I would be wrong in saying that this is a certified movement.
Yeah.
Now hopefully,
There are those who have compared it, rightfully so, to 2008. And some would
yeah, yeah. And I was thinking the same thing, but I ain't ready
argue.
to go there yet though. Quite
Well,
yet. You
well,
know what
I
I'm saying?
mean, there are people that have compared it to 2008, and there are people who
Mhm.
have said that, comparatively speaking, over the same time period, that this has surpassed 2008. That
Okay,
this
okay,
has
okay.
just been a greater sense of a shot in the arm, particularly for a
Right.
party that that was kind of dead on arrival, right? There wasn't a great deal of enthusiasm
Yeah, yeah, for
before
sure.
this, right? And so let's clear this up from the very beginning. I'm neither Democrat nor Republican. I have endorsed Vice President Kamala Harris because for reasons that we're going to talk about even today, right? So I do not endorse full-throatedly the platform of the Democratic Party. I do not endorse full-throatedly the platform of the Republican Party. I do think that a part of what I have found that I am requesting and needing, Leroy, right now is a sense of civility, right?
Mhm.
I don't like I don't like drama. I don't like name calling. I don't
Right,
like
right.
information that is out there that is less than factual.
Yeah.
And what I am seeing, which I thought you were going to say when you were talking about laughing, I am seeing, Leroy, from the right,
Mhm.
and those of you that know me, again, understand that I'm not right, I'm not left. I'm for what's right, not for the right. I'm for what's right. And there's a lot of narrative out there that just isn't true. And it's
Mhm.
difficult for me to swallow and take seriously
Mhm.
individuals who spew information that can be fact checked like
Correct.
that, and then all that you do is say, "Oh, my bad," and laugh. No, 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 because you have gone unchecked. Like you've
Mhm.
been able to say these different things. You calling my sister out of her name. You calling her a DEI hire.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're making these comments about her letting out someone from prison who goes on to no, 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 no. You don't.
Mhm.
So when I call you on it, right? When I call you on it, and surprisingly, it has been some African American brothers. And I don't have any problems with an African American brother who is a staunch Republican. I've got some friends that are Republicans, right? And I don't have any problems with their choice politically. I have a problem
Mhm.
when the information that you are disseminating is inaccurate, it is divisive, it is causing a climate and a culture that could be so vitriolic that it causes harm to people. Like I have,
Yeah.
like if we have some political ideological differences, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm gonna respect you. Look. That's right. I just love this playboy. Just right. Yeah. If we've got some political ideological differences, I'm okay. But why you got to call me out my name? Why you got to call me stupid because I don't agree with what you say? Yeah, coach, what's happening, man? So Leroy, like you and I don't agree on every issue, right?
Mhm.
But we've learned to respect one another, to hear one another out, to grow as a result of each other speaking. What has been so difficult for both sides of the aisle to be able to do that? Particularly, again, um, I'm not saying that there isn't some falsehood on the left because there's falsehood everywhere. Everybody, says whatever they can say to kind of get ahead. But I will tell you that I have heard more nonsense, just more nonsense. And I will protect our sister. I'm going to protect our sister. So Leroy, talk to me, man, about why it's like that. Why is it so? I mean, it's just nonsense. Like
Well,
it's not even policy. It's just nonsense kind of stuff
but
that is troubling
but
to me.
one, it's I mean, and you probably know this more than I do, but politics is a nasty game. One, but then beyond that, you have people that are immature,
Yeah,
people that are not intelligent. They don't know how to express themselves
yeah,
in a intellectual manner, like you just said. And here, I think the biggest part of that is this one word, and Malcolm said it way back in the '60s, probably, is media.
yeah,
Because it is the most and this what you just talked about, that encapsulates what he talked about,
yeah,
that it's the most powerful tool that we have, because you get people who are
yeah.
intellectually lazy, they
Yes,
can't
yes, yes,
articulate, but
yes,
they are also um, information
yes,
lazy. They
yes,
don't seek to
yes,
gather the information. They would rather take the 90-second clip. They would rather take the reel,
yes,
those 30-second reels, and say, this is what this person said. We live in a world now, bruh. And check this out on YouTube. And please explain this to me. I don't even know if you can explain this to me. How is it that people can have a show, a podcast, and this is why I talk about the
yes,
about the
yes,
cotton candy folks.
yes, yes,
How you can have a show about videos that somebody else did, and people pay you for it. You talk about the video that somebody else did, and I'm just like, I'm not getting this. Where we're so lazy that we can't have our own conversations and
yes,
let it be about substantive issues.
yes,
Like everything that you and I do, when
Yes.
it comes to this digital content. It's not talking about, we're not showing a video of somebody talking about something.
Yeah.
We're actually, hey, what are the issues? Let's have a conversation about them. You're
Yes.
going to have your opinion about them. I'm going to have my opinion about them. And we discuss what the solutions are.
Yes. Yeah.
That's not what people do. That's not what, I don't say people do. That's not what the immature do.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed, man. Agreed. And I'm hoping. I want to see something here. Okay, looks like I can do something here. I'm hoping that okay, good, good, good. I'm over here distracted, making sure that I understand how StreamYard works. I've been on so many podcasts here lately, and I've seen so many tricks. I'm like, I wonder whether we can do that. We should be able to do that.
Mm,
So it looks like I can. Um, so I don't know the answer to your question. I don't.
mm,
I do agree with you that we live in a society that is intellectually lazy,
yeah,
right? That we're unwilling to think,
yeah.
and in the words of Martin King, the ability to disagree without being violently disagreeable. I think we've got to
Hmm.
find a way
Absolutely.
to discuss issues and have a difference of opinion and be okay with that.
Hmm.
um, but I wanna go back and I want to say this. I'm gonna protect our sister. Yeah, I'm gonna protect our sister. I don't agree with her on everything. I just don't. I just don't. But when you start name calling and all of that
Hmm.
and attack her policy, that's fair game. It's fair game to attack
Correct.
her policy. It's fair
Right.
game to say I do not agree with
Hmm.
her name is Kamala. Her name is not Kamala. Her name is Kamala.
I know, right?
Yeah, her name is Kamala Harris. And I don't agree with Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris, on this, and this. This is why this is a better policy for me. I'm okay with that. But when you start
Mhm.
disrespecting her name, and it's going to get worse, unfortunately,
Yeah.
because when
Yep.
you don't have policy on your side, you got to do
Hmm.
something else. you have to
Correct.
do something else, right? So this is what I wanted to talk with you today about. And Coach, if you would like to come on, man, we'd love to have you on. And anyone else that says, "Hey, I want to come on stage," then we'll send you the link. Because now, I either want black men or
Mm.
those committed to black male issues, right? Black
Yeah,
men,
you ain't coming on here just to be
black male
talking. So
issues. Okay, Coach, I'll send you the let me see, where is it? Invite. Yeah, those committed to black male issues. If you come on here talking nonsense, um, then it's not gonna work out well for you.
for real, for real. Yeah,
Yeah,
this ain't the cotton candy podcast. I'm sorry. This is not that.
yeah.
This is not that.
This ain't that. Um, and I think we're about to see it with you and with Coach Walter Sellers and myself, all of us on the podcast together. We're going to see the diversity of
Hmm.
black male thought,
Right.
right? That uh, I know Coach Sellers has a particular view of what's important to him, and Leroy
Hmm.
has a view of what's important to him, and I have a view of what's important to me. Um, what's up, sir? Let me see if I can. There we go.
There you go.
What's up, man?
So, brother.
Everything's good. So the reason why I wanted to come on today and kind of talk this through is that Roland Martin made a statement on the Black Star Network last night at the National Urban League's convention and conference. And what he talked about, I think, was, and Roland and I don't agree on everything, right? None of us agree with everything everybody says, but we have the ability to be strong enough and courageous enough to talk it all through. What Roland Martin said last night that I absolutely agree with, and there were other guests with this show, and Leroy, I'm gonna come to you first, and then Coach, come to you, was that the Democratic Party in particular, and the reason why it was important for us to hear this is because he was talking about diversity, and he was talking about how to address these different issues that all of us have very, very differently from one another. And he said that what the Democratic Party has lost is its ability to micro-target voters, particularly micro-targeting Black voters who all of us have something different as a priority for us. When Coach comes and he talks, here's what he's going to say. I can predict it because I've heard him say it before. He said, I'm going to vote for anyone who has as their platform a universal health care. That is his priority, right? So what Roland Martin was saying is, why doesn't the Democratic Party, as it relates to Black voters, and particularly helping the Democratic Party to understand that for some Black males, entrepreneurship and wealth is at the top of the list. For some Black males, like Coach Sellers, health and wellness and universal health care is a major priority. For others, the Black family is a major priority. When you attempt, what Roland Martin was saying was, and Leroy, I'm coming to you now, is when you attempt to ignore the primary base of the Democratic Party, which is Black people, right? And you ignore the needs of Black people because you just kind of say, well, they're all one kind of voter. We're not all one kind of voter. And in an effort to say, let's bring into our tent independents like myself, or people who are Republicans who are disenfranchised with the Trump administration, right? Let's try to bring them over instead of spending money trying to make sure that the issues that are particularly important to all of us as individuals, that there's some money put into that. If you look at the ads that are being run currently, Leroy, what you will see is that those ads have been created by white people who don't understand the Black vote, right? And what Roland Martin was saying is somebody better get to them real quick and help them to understand that the Black vote is important, but we are not monolithic in our thought. We are not monolithic in our vote. We've got to be, somebody has to pay attention to all the segments of the Democratic Party. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm an independent, but I have a particular way of thinking that I think those parties need to pay attention to. So Leroy, that's me kind of opening up the conversation. I'll toss it to you, and then when you're done, you can toss it to Coach so that we can have this conversation.
Well, I think Roland Martin has been on point when it comes to political strategies. He really has. If you listen to him, the strategy that he talked about specifically for the Democratic Party has been right on point. It's like, look, you got to want, and we talk about this just in business. You got to know who your target audience is.
Yes.
Know who they are. Yes. You got to know who they are. You got to be able to speak their language, and you have to be where they are.
Yeah.
Not just know who they are, but be where they are. And so his approach and his talk about that is so true, and it's always on point. And we do have to, and that's the importance of the DEI statement, the diversity, equity, and inclusion, for those that may not be aware of what that means. And it means that you're going to have multiple voices, multiple ideas, even within a group of people. Like you just talked about, the three of
Yeah.
us on here, yes, we're all black men,
Yes.
but we have our own ideas, we have our own narratives, and we have our own each individual objectives. Now we have one common objective,
Yes.
but we each have, and I tell you this all the time. Malcolm and Martin, Dr. King, let me get it right. Dr. King and
Yeah.
Brother Malcolm,
Yeah.
they had two different, totally opposite ideologies.
Yes.
But the common thing about both of them, without a shadow of a doubt, without any unequivocation, they loved black people
Absolutely.
and specifically black men.
Absolutely.
They were about the advancement of us as a people and us as black men. So they were set on doing things that drew all of us together.
Yes.
And I don't think, though, like you were just saying, those that are running the marketing piece of the Democratic Party get that.
Yes.
You know, like you said, they want to put us in this box. They want to make us this cookie cutter when we're
Yes.
not.
Yes.
Nobody is.
Yes.
None of us are cookie cutters.
Yes.
At least you shouldn't be. If you are, then that's you. That's not anybody else. But not being a cookie cutter of and you can't assume that they are, or that will be to your detriment if you do try to put all of us into one, into one basket, because we're
Yes.
not. And you have to speak to that
Yes.
diversity and understanding. Hey, yeah, there's some of us that are here. There's some of us are here. There's some of us that are more left. There's some that are more left center, if you will.
Yes.
There are those that might be right center.
Yes.
So you have to be cognizant of that and who you're and how you're speaking.
Yes.
And say, okay, yeah, we got to be careful to say this all inclusive, yeah, because you're not going to please everybody.
Yes.
Don't misunderstand that. You're not going to please everybody, but you do have to understand how to speak
Yes.
to everybody.
Yeah. Without
You
question.
know, so yeah, with that,
Coach, what say
Coach.
you, man?
So I normally don't write notes when we're talking. I don't think I've ever done that, but what the commonality between both of you guys have said today is we're not monolithic, and we have to have a broad tent. So I guess to kind of put it not just on the Democratic Party as a whole, because I'm a Democrat, just full disclosure.
Yeah.
How is it possible to bring in all of the facets of the party under one umbrella? So I think the challenge the party has is, okay, there's a businessman, there's a fight for healthcare, so on, education. What are the things that those three people have in common,
Mhm.
right? And if we can approach that, it's okay, we got this in common. We know that if you want to be good in business, you got to eat right. If you want to be able to pay for the bills, you got to have a good business.
Yeah.
But you got to do all that so you have a good education. So
Yeah.
the question is, are any of those things, any of those supersede any of the other things, right? So how do we make or find a core issue that we're alike on, and then be able to branch out to other places? So I think that is where the Democratic Party has fell off, right? The Democratic Party doesn't have, okay, great, let's have our meeting in Baltimore, and we're gonna bring everybody together. Here's a survey. What's the most important to you? Great. We can't do everything at one time. What we can do is look at what people are saying and what the majority of people are saying. Great. We're not discounting what the smaller number of people are saying. We're just saying that for this time right now,
Yes.
this is our focus. So the hard
Mhm.
part for the Democratic Party is the majority of Democrats are in California and New York, right?
That's very true.
And,
That's
and
very
across
true.
the middle is not a lot.
That's very
More
true.
land than there are people.
Yes.
So our challenge is that the coastlines have a very denser population than the middle of the
Mhm.
country does. So the population centers in Chicago and in Wisconsin and Michigan, those places are making it very, very challenging for the Democrats because you got to appeal to everything. So how do all those things come together in one? So you find a common issue and you run on it. So the Democrats under Obama, it was healthcare. The question is under Vice President Harris, is it going to be healthcare? Is it going to be women's rights? Is it going to be education? You know, whatever she define it as, she has to come out and say, listen, we can't give everybody everything at once, but we're focus on these, not forgetting those, but we are going to build on those things. And I think that will kind of address the issues that they had.
I think you kind of clarified a strategy, right? I've been attempting, guys, and I tried to pull it up a moment ago and it just didn't work. As both of you know, inside the Remain community, those of you that are men that are not inside the Remain community, you need to be. That's where the conversations are happening about a very comprehensive approach for us getting to the table, us being heard and seen with regard to the things that are important to us. So I need you to go to www.remand.community, www.remand.community, and include yourself in the conversation, right? You said something, Coach, that I would be okay with as we kind of move into, guys, the conversation about Black men. The reason why what Roland said was important was because I am watching Black men disagree with one another as if either of us are wrong. Whatever is a priority to you is a priority to you, right? And one of the things that did, Coach, cause me to finally endorse Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris, was the healthcare thing. My life was saved by healthcare, right? And I don't think a person should have to be rich to be able to be sick, right? I think that people should have a right to a long, healthy life, and quite frankly, it is in the best business interest of this country to make sure that people are healthy. I mean, that some of the things that we argue about, I think, are kind of common sense. But what I've come to, as everyone knows, I've been attempting to kind of yell from the rafters, hey, I don't want to hear anything about another people group until you pay attention to Black men. I don't want to hear nothing about the LGBTQI plus community. I don't want to hear nothing about women. I don't want to hear nothing about kids. I don't want to hear nothing about none of those people that I value. I value every one of those people groups I just mentioned. But the issue is we are not valued, right? And we are not a part of the conversation. Even when we look at some of the ads that are being played right now, you can't find a Black man in those ads, right? And while I understand that you got to shore up your base, you're in this for a couple of days now, and you got to make sure everybody comes under the tent, and Black women and women. Leroy was talking about white women for Kamala Harris, right? We understand that they are major to the party. But you just said something that would satisfy me, Coach. And many people might call this a sellout, but it would satisfy me, Leroy, if the administration would say to Black men, Black male leaders that are interested in Black men, right? Pull us to the side and say, hey, y'all, we understand. We see you. Coach just said it. You're not going to be able to get to your issues right now. Some of them we will, because they are issues of the country. Healthcare is an issue of the country. It is in the best interest of Black males to have healthcare, right? From what I understand, Vice President Harris has been traveling the country, meeting with entrepreneurs, right? And business owners, small business owners like Pinky Cole and others, right? So she can say we are doing that. But when it comes to these other issues, we got you, but you can't expect us to do it right now, right? Even calling us into a meeting, a private meeting, and say, We got you. I understand these are the issues, and I agree with these issues. Give me a minute to kind of sit my tail down in office and get my footing, and then let's continue to dialogue about what's important. Because this is what I know. And Leroy, I see you want to jump in, and I'm gonna let you jump in right here. This is what I know. I've been involved with politics for a while. I've been trained by the NAACP. I've been trained by the National Urban League. I've been trained by the ACLU. I know how it works. And a part of what I know is it takes a minute to be able to get these things passed. It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen because we want it to. It happens because there's constant and consistent pressure on an issue by the people that want the issue dealt with, right? I have the thing that God said to me is, hey, Donald, you are asking them to have an agenda for you. That ain't their job. Your job is to have an agenda for you, and you put pressure on them to pay attention to the agenda that you have, that Black males have for themselves, right?
Right.
So we've had to kind of reverse engineer my approach to it. So my approach now isn't they don't have a plan for Black men. They shouldn't. They shouldn't. I should. We should, right? And then we present that and we put and apply pressure to make sure the administration does something about what we're talking about. Leroy, looks like you were like playing double dutch, ready to jump in.
Yeah, to your point about the vice president meeting with different groups, if you will, that is something she's doing. My mentor, Dr. Will, him, and Pinky Cole was there. Ron Busby, the UBC, the urban, the I'm sorry, the U.S. Black Chamber of Commerce. They had a meeting at
Yes.
the vice president's house.
Yes.
So, and I'm sure there were discussions like you were just saying that are happening. I'm sure there have been other groups, the other groups that you just named.
Yes.
I'm sure have gotten on her calendar,
Yes.
to discuss their agendas. They're not coming and asking her for an agenda. And we've said this before. We talked about this before, where we come with an agenda and we say, yeah, these are the issues, the top 10 issues, if you will,
Yes.
that we as a group want to have addressed.
Yes.
Now, when they get addressed, yeah, we understand everybody can't get everything done at one time. That's not how it works.
Yes.
If you're any kind of a businessman, there are priorities.
Yes.
There are things that have to be, things have to be done, in order to be able to get things done, especially when you're talking, politics, and you got to think about the country, not
Yes.
just a specific group of people.
Yes.
And I like what you said about, hey, which of your priorities impact the larger group of people, as us as a whole.
Yes.
And we can start with those, and then as we keep the pedal on them, because it's about, hey, yeah, that sounds good, but don't think we're just gonna be good with you just saying that you're gonna do something. We're gonna hold your feet to the fire.
Yes.
To make sure that, hey, yeah, we here.
Yes.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget about us. We over here, and we're gonna constantly and consistently let you know that we're here.
Yes.
Because we're gonna be knocking on your door, or we're gonna do those things in order to let you know that we must be acknowledged. I like that you said get seen, get heard, but also acknowledge us.
Yes.
It's like when you ever gone to the store and you stand, and I've done this, and it irritates the mess out of me. And you're standing there, and they're taking forever with the person that's in front of you, and they don't even acknowledge you, sir. I'll be right with you. Just give me a minute. I was in the bank maybe like a week or two ago. Same thing. I lied to you not. The what do you call them? The people that you have to get, the representative or whatever. I'm sitting in the chair waiting to see her. I know she sat and was talking with this dude for an hour.
Yes.
And I'm sitting there, I'm hot. Because I'm like, you ain't even come out and say, sir, excuse me, are you here for something? And there was two people that even walked by me that came from the same where she was, didn't acknowledge me or anything. So it's one thing to see you and to hear you, but to acknowledge you is that third piece.
Yes.
And make sure that people no, I'm
Yeah.
letting you know I'm here.
Yeah.
You're going
Absolutely.
you're going to acknowledge that I'm here.
Absolutely.
And what you said, that's our main goal, is to say, look, we get it. Everybody's got to get in line and everybody's got to have things. But you're going to acknowledge that we're here. And we're
Yeah.
going to let you know that we're here. And we ain't going nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Without question. So Coach, do you have anything that you want to add to that, man? Because I think
Absolutely.
Leroy did just add an element to it that I didn't think about.
Sure.
Seen, heard, acknowledged, right?
So-
like we have very real issues that are very specific. And I know in an era where we are attempting to erase the gender line, there
Right.
are real issues that deal with men. And then there are real issues that are very different between a white man and a black man.
Yep.
So go ahead, Coach. I just wanted to add that.
So to even focus what Leroy said even more, the most impressive thing about the civil rights movement and Dr. King was just what you said. They were hyper focused on one thing, the vote, right?
Yes. Yes.
They're hyper focused. And even during the audio tapes and reading all the books and watching all the movies, all you would see is Dr. King hammering the president on just that. And he was 39 years old at the time, right? He was 39 years old, young brother, in the face of the president of the United States, and this has to get done, right?
Yep. It sure did, man.
And it took many, 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 many years.
Yeah.
Right. But the challenge that social media has created for us is the instantaneous reaction to everything.
Yeah.
So I tagged one of the brothers who I debate with constantly about the difference between Democratic Party, but whatever.
Yes.
And because I need them to hear this part, it's never going to be instantaneous.
That's right.
What are they going to do for black men? Stop. There will never in American history be a policy that says this is for black men or black people only. It just is never going to exist.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Will there be other ways to do it? Absolutely. So with the constant debate that we have is reparations. Where do we get reparations? Pause. Kamala Harris said maybe the answer isn't reparations in the sense of a check. Maybe it's giving us mental health care that will cover the trauma that the hundreds of years of abuse that black people have gone through will help us respond and react better to society as a whole.
Now you're talking, Coach.
Directly saying, give you a check? No. But it's saying, let me give you free health care that's going to release a check for you to make it work better, right? So that want and drive for shit to be done right now, it doesn't work. It's never going to work that way. So having a plan, like you guys described, having action, so that you guys described, and then keeping the foot on the gas over and over and over again, that is how you get stuff done. It's never going to be. It takes patience. It takes work.
Very true.
I mean, nothing's done overnight. So that I think that's the issue. Having something focused, having a plan, and staying on it, and not getting distracted by bright shiny objects.
Let me push a bit.
And that's
Wait 1 second, Leroy. Let me push Coach for a second because there's something that Coach said that triggered me a bit, and I really want to address it. So I agree with 95%, Coach, of what you just said, right? I'm always challenged with the idea. Agreed, Salik. Let's see. How do I pronounce your name? Sakia Moore? Sakia? Please let me know how to pronounce your name, sis. Thank you for watching on YouTube. Do me a favor and like that bell. Hit that bell so that subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you'll know every time we go live. Coach, one of the things that you said that I want to push on a bit that I have some fundamental disagreement with, which has been a part of my issue with both parties, is that when you say, well, no one is going to say that this is a policy directly impacting black males, right? Or males, black males, or whatever the case may be. And my challenge with that is that they have developed policy and language and narrative that have been very specific about women, very, very specific about women, right? That these policies impact women and they impact women in this way. And I'm assuming, I don't know that you're saying this. I'm assuming that you're saying, as Leroy has said some time ago, and others have told me, Donald, to have the Democratic Party say that these are policies that will impact men or Black men, and to come out and to be overt about that is almost political suicide to do so, right? My concern, my challenge or question at least is, why are we comfortable with okaying the idea that the party has been very overt and very vocal about the needs of women, but we don't say to them, be equally vocal about the needs of men? Or did I miss your statement?
No, you didn't miss it one bit. You hit it on the head. I would argue to say that the quote patriarchy unquote has a tremendous amount to do with it.
Mhm.
Um, I would say that in the grand arch of things, the reason that that is the case is because women were excluded from um, voting, etc. Even during the Great Debate during the 1860s, when President Lincoln was attempting to get his bill passed, the question was first, are we going to give the vote to Black people? And then what's next? Vote for women? So even then, it was always a sexist society. And because of that, to balance that, men and women, that's why there was language in laws over time specifically directed towards women, because there are no laws overtly that says Black people can't do this or Black men can't do that, right? The laws were never written that way. The end result may have had disparate impact on us to affect the different ways. Like the crime bill of 1995 that Joe Biden authored, it never said arrest Black people,
Yes.
right? It
Yes.
was targeted towards a specific drug that specifically Black people were using more than white folks. So it was kind of undercover the way that it was presented. So
Yes.
there are no laws that were written to be undone that can be targeted towards Black men. So I feel you. There should be no reason why a bill can't say Black men, but it would be an issue for society at large. Even President Obama said at the time, making something specifically only for Black people it's going to cause instantaneous ending. But we can do it covertly. Let's give free healthcare to everyone. Who carries the biggest healthcare debt in America? Black people. Who carries the most student loan debt in America? Black people. So while it's not a bill that says it's just for Black people, the majority of the people who it impacts positively would be Black people. So I get it. I understand what you're saying. I just think that for the big tent that we're trying to have at the Democratic Party, we can't isolate one factor without causing some kind of rift between Black men and everybody else in the party or in the group or what have you. So I think that's the difference between having something for women versus something for Black men particularly.
And,
And,
and
and can I?
I think of, yes, Leroy, I'm coming to you right now, man. I think a part of the greater conversation is that the Democratic Party has been able to say women
Mm-hmm.
and have Black women part of that conversation.
Right.
There are some stark differences between, we can't say men and have Black men included in that conversation, because there is a very real difference between white men and Black men, the thoughts of
Agreed.
and how we show up and how we are served. Um, and I've attempted in many ways, Coach, to revisit and recapture the idea of patriarchy,
Mm-hmm.
because what our society does is it creates these evolutions with words and terms,
Mhm.
right? Patriarchy, by definition, it became something bad, but it wasn't bad.
Right.
Patriarchy just meant male-led households, right?
Bingo.
To actually trace a family through its male lineage. That's all patriarchy was,
Right.
right? And now it's become this systemic thing. And at the same time, we're attempting to debate and conflict over, whether or not we want male-led households, which many of our sisters say, yes, hell yes, we want Black men back in the household, right? Yet we fight with this idea of patriarchy, which is this white male thing, right?
Mhm.
And so a part of what I'm arguing is that there's a segment of the population, being Black males, who are in many ways political bastards. Like we have nowhere to go because our issues are incredibly unique. I agree with the covert thing that you said, right? Let's find ways to covertly deal with it. But as Black men, if we were to look at the love languages, Coach,
Mhm.
and Dr. McKenzie Jr., if we were to look at the love languages, uh, a great a great majority of men say, my love language is words of affirmation. Affirm
Mhm.
me. Say
Mhm.
something good about me. Tell me that you're paying attention to me. And I would argue that many of us are waiting for some political candidate or base to say something good about Black men in a way that makes us, to Leroy's point, and I'm coming to you right now, Leroy, feel included, seen, acknowledged. Go ahead, bro.
No, I was just going to add to what Coach was saying about the Democratic Party and the overtness of them. What happens if when you take on I guess if you will, the ideology that you were saying, where they have to speak specifically.
Yes.
Let's go over to the Republican Party. They
Yes.
specifically say, "Hey, these are the things that we
Yes.
are about."
Yes.
They
Yes.
are unequivocal about it,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
They
Yes.
say this, and this. If
Yes.
you with it, you with it. If you're not, you're not. And
Yes.
we see what happens when you have that kind of strategy or model. What happens because they're not trying to hear anything else. If you ain't saying this, then nothing else is going to matter to us.
Right.
So you can't. To me, if you have it where you're not trying to hear anything else or by anyone else, then it is going to restrict you. So they can't say this is specifically for us, for Black men. I promise you that's just not gonna happen
Yeah, I'm not saying that
because
I'm not saying that it will, but I maintain that it should. And
Yeah.
it,
I
here's
agree.
the reason. The
I think we all
reason
agree on
is
that, though. I think we agree
even
that.
yeah, even with the Republican Party, right? Again, for those of you that don't know, I'm neither Republican nor Democrat. I am an independent. I am radically independent in my thought and in my vote. I have endorsed Vice President Kamala Harris because I believe that in this instance, she's best for our country right now. I absolutely believe that. And I don't swallow the fullness of the Democratic Party's platform. I just don't, right? But the reason the going back to Dr. McKenzie's point, Coach, when he says, well, we see how that kind of ends up with the Republican Party. Um, what happens is when you have a singular focus, like the Democrats right now, there's a singular focus. It really isn't about platform. Here's the singular focus for the Democratic Party: defeat Donald Trump. That's the language,
correct.
right?
That's the
So
mission,
that's the
objective. Right?
mission. So that's the objective. So what Coach said a moment ago is just very true. Is it we know that under that tent is healthcare and a woman's right to choose and all those kinds of things. But right now, the only thing that everybody can agree on is we don't want him back in office. So
Bingo.
we're going right. So
Right.
we're going to rally around that. What I am what I am suggesting, and I think both of you would agree, what I am suggesting and will always fight for is, and we can learn from the civil rights movement. We can learn from the movement of the LGBTQIA plus community, which co-opted the civil rights
Yep.
movement and used it to and leveraged it to their benefit, right? What we can learn from women's rights and feminism and all those kinds of things is what happens as a result of the pressure that you place on it.
Bingo.
And I will tell you that when it came to marriage equality, I even fought for marriage equality. I fought for it. Was the worst decision of my life. Because what happens behind the scenes, gentlemen, is that we had these handshake agreements that said, hey, we'll work with you on marriage equality. Recognize that me as a preacher, I am not going to marry anyone of the same gender. It goes against everything I believe. But in this 14th Amendment ideology that we are all equally protected under the law, that I get that you should have a right to marry, so on and so forth. So we can have the God conversation later, right?
Mhm.
We can have the God conversation later, but I can stand with you on this. This is what we want from you, though. We want from you, we want to shake hands with you and say, hey, when it comes time to talk about voting rights, we need the same way that we're giving
Right.
you
Right.
our help. And Leroy and Coach, when we passed marriage equality,
Uh-huh.
and we went back to the LGBTQI plus community, and we
Disappeared,
asked
didn't they?
to help us with voting rights, they disappeared. They didn't answer the phone, right? And so that is the way the nastiness of politics and how it can actually play out, which then causes me to always then vote my issue. I'm gonna vote my issues. I'm not right. So I want to, for the rest of my life, put pressure on whoever's in office, because the moment that Vice President Kamala Harris becomes president, we ain't friends no more. It's now time to do some work around the things that are important to you.
You got to do the work.
We got to do the work now. So I think we have to continue to value the things that are important to us in such a way that we are at least putting pressure on whoever's in office. So either one of you guys can follow up.
So I guess then the question becomes, you know, will we be focused like a laser beam on the issues that we select and not be fractured
Yes.
and get stuck in the I only want what I want?
Yes.
Or are we going to be focused on great? Majority of us want to do these two things. Let's get these two things done, and then we'll work on the next thing, right? Like President Obama, like him or lump him, his number one issue was we're going to get universal health care for everybody.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes.
He spent every ounce of his political process that he had
and capital, absolutely,
that he had
absolutely.
for 8 years, even though it got done in year 2.
Absolutely.
But for 8 years, he paid the price.
Absolutely.
Right? He lost 100%. The House and the Senate because of that bill.
100%.
That was his, and keeping it together. And now it ain't never going nowhere. You can't never take it away.
Absolutely.
So the question is, what is the issue that we can push and hit on for that amount of time that is going to be uniquely ours, right? And can we stay together long enough to ensure that it remains enshrined? Because here's the thing, you know, as divergent as our ideas of what's important to us are,
yes,
we all have that sameness. Is that the black man in America is under attack, whether it's in our health, in our education, or in our business. On any of those three fronts, we're all under attack.
Yes.
I just happen to believe that our health is paramount.
Yes.
Because we can't do anything else if our health ain't right.
Yes.
Okay. And so for me, I'll take a loss to help more families. Right? Because to me, the greater good when it comes to health and wellness is more important. Now, is my business black only? No, I have Caucasian members. I've got Hispanic members.
Yeah.
But to me, am I focused on black health? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. It's my father died of cancer.
Yeah.
Right. My family's diabetic, PCOS, all the above.
Yeah.
Is my business focused on black men? no, and I'm a black man.
Yeah.
Right? Black women happen to be my target audience because I know what the math says. The math says 85% of black nutrition and wellness comes from the woman. So I'm going to focus my attention on that being important because I can then reach, like we talked about a second ago, I can then reach black men through his wife, sister, mother, whatever.
Yes.
So that's kind of my mission. And do I lose sight on my healthcare mission? Absolutely, positively not.
Yeah.
But as a black man, we have to decide, listen, if this is what the mass of black men want, I'm all in. Yeah. I know my part's going to come.
Yeah.
If the majority of us were to say, these are things, we had a national black man's call and everybody got on and said, listen, we're going to vote, instant vote right now. What's important? These are the only choices you got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, there are 41 million of us in the country, but we can't have 41 million answers.
Yeah.
These are 5 we're going to run with.
Yeah.
Pick your choice. When everybody vote, okay, this is what we're going to do.
Right now. So at this stage, right? Yeah. And being able to, I think that's right. Being able to, in addition to that, being able to know that you got to be able to do what speakers do, right? All of us are speakers. We got to be able to read the room.
Right.
Got to be able to know what the political climate is right now. Got to know what the appetite is right now. So those 5 issues that we have, for those of you that have not gone inside the community, go to www.remand.community and join Remand, where we are having a conversation right now, Dr. McKenzie, around those 5 issues. These are the 5 issues that we got from the 2025 We Dream campaign for Black males and Black men and boys. We got that information from them. We fully adopted those as issues that impact Black men. And now our job is to take those issues, make them a part of a campaign and move the needle as it relates to these issues. But what I'm hearing Coach say and what I'm hearing you say is, look, we gotta, while we recognize that these 5 issues, education, wealth and entrepreneurship, family, justice, like we know that there are 5 issues that men deal with. We're going to have to find where the political will is for all of us to say, hey, this is the issue right now. This is the issue right now. It doesn't mean that these issues aren't important. We'll get to them. But right now, can we all agree and throw our muscle and money behind this one issue so that we can get something done?
And that's the key, bro. Like we said, we have the agenda. We have a full agenda. Here are these 5, 10 things that we want.
Yes.
But even within those, the 5, we say these are the most important ones, and these are the ones like Coach said. Hey, health impacts all of us. There's not anything that we can't, that we can do if none of us have our health. I don't care. Your family isn't well if you're not well.
Yes.
Your business isn't well if you're not well.
Yes.
If you're not taking care of this body that you're in.
Yes.
So that becomes a thing where, like you said, hey, it was with President Obama, healthcare.
Yeah.
Okay. And as Coach said, who is most impacted disproportionately?
Yeah.
With their health.
Yeah.
Because we ain't eating right.
Yeah.
Because we're not doing the things that we need to do from a health standpoint.
Yeah.
And then saying, brothers, here's what we want you to understand. That all of these other things that we got on our list, if we're not healthy, we can't fight nobody.
Yeah. Yeah.
If your mind ain't right, my thing is that the 3 things that you just mentioned, I think are health, education, and business.
Yes.
The 3 things that we do.
Yes.
Those are the 3 most impactful things to me.
Yeah.
To us as Black men.
Yeah.
Being healthy, being educated, because if you're educated, then you have the mindset to be able to do the things that you need to do. And then in business, that means you're able to employ people. You're able to put people to work. You're able to work, and you're able to put people to work. Those are the things that I think about when I think about that.
Yeah.
And those are the kinds of things I think that the civil rights movement, when Dr. King was adamant about vote. Their focus was getting the right to vote. That's
Yeah.
why we got the 64 the Voters Right Act, the 64.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the housing, yeah, of 64, 1964. Because they said, look, we have all of these other things that we need to get done, but this is the pathway in order for us to be able to get the other. This opens the door for everything else
Yeah.
to what we do.
Yeah.
And to your point, I'm sorry, to your point, real quick, to your
Yes.
point about getting a seat at the table. What's
Yeah.
going to get us the seat at that table or open that door?
Yeah. And that I don't know. I think that is the thing for me, right? Where do we how can we it's impossible for us to want brothers to be seen, heard, acknowledged if we won't do the same thing being seen, heard, and acknowledged, right? If as it
Mhm,
relates to
mhm.
brothers that are in our own
Right.
community. As you again, I want to bring this up as you already know, bro. We're having these conversations and polls happening inside Remand right now as we speak
Hmm.
to kind of find out where guys are. Like, what are your issues? And both
Right.
what we're seeing inside the community, man, is that as it is customary, right? The majority of what brothers are really concerned about, at least for this small sample size of
Hmm.
polling that we've done, is brothers are concerned about their money. They're concerned about, their businesses. Um, and I really wish I can find a way to kind of pull it all up in here so that everyone can
Yeah.
see.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they're concerned about their money and their businesses, and um, they're concerned about these child support issues, right?
Yes.
And
Hmm.
so uh, I don't know. Remand is one of those spaces, and we got about 13 minutes, and we'll end at 1:30. But remand is one of those spaces that continues to blow my mind because it is a comprehensive space, right? We're not just guys with one political thought. We're not just guys that have one thing on the line, which has its good and bad side. To Coach Walter's point, right? That getting everybody on the same page around a single issue is going to be it's going to be difficult. It will
Bruh,
be
I'm
tough.
sorry, bruh. And that's one thing in looking at the civil rights movement that I looked at, because you had these multiple organizations. Everybody had their own agenda. Everybody had what
Yes,
they wanted.
yes,
And I mean, and they fought tooth and nail against each other. You know what
yes,
they did, Dr. King?
yes,
But there has to be this, and that's what I've learned. There has to be this commonality. You gotta have a commonality, and this was shown this week, bro. With all of those meetings that were done this week,
yes,
like you said, the one common goal was, look, we got an objective, and we need everybody on board for that objective.
yeah,
And I say it again, and I know we not talk about the Bible, but Nehemiah building the wall, bro. Everybody had a mind to work, and that to me was the understanding that I got to do my part of building the wall. What part of the wall am I building?
yeah.
But everybody has to have a mind to work and build the wall,
I
or
did
if not,
hear
it won't
though.
work.
I did hear, Coach, and I want you to elaborate on this a little bit, man.
Sure.
You said because I heard a rallying cry in something that you said, right? When you were talking about here's the one thing all of us can agree on, and it is actually a movement creating kind of comment.
Hmm.
It is a movement creating kind of comment when you said, um, how did you put it? Black men are being targeted, something like that.
They are.
What did you say?
I said black men are being targeted in health, in business, and education. Full stop.
Yeah.
Right. But
We're under attack.
Thing,
black men are under attack, is what you say.
Right.
Yeah. Black men are
on
under
all
attack.
Fronts.
Yeah, on all fronts.
And the hard part is, Don, is sometimes we fuck up and shoot ourselves in the foot. Pardon my English.
Yes.
I think Kamala said the other day, sometimes I kick the fucking door in. And what Kamala said on the interview the other day, she said, yes, she did. I'm going to send you the link. She said, sometimes they hold the door open for you and sometimes they won't. And when they don't, kick the fucking door in. Pardon my language. That's what she said. As a sitting vice president, I'm going to send you the link so you can have it.
Okay.
And sometimes we shoot ourselves in the foot, right? We let small things or shiny bright objects get in the way of the larger goal. And again, I'm leaning back on the person I tagged in this without putting them by name. We're all never going to have the same singular goal. It's never going to happen.
Yeah.
Folks come to me over here, Walter, I'm working my gut. Okay, great. We actually got in control. No. I want to work on my abs. Listen.
Yeah.
It ain't about your abs. It's about what goes in your freaking mouth.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. And so you can want to tighten and tone all you want. But until you get your fork under control, nothing else is going to matter.
Yeah.
So we can want to have more black men in more powerful positions, but if you can't stand in line for 8 years and wait, then bro, it's never going to happen.
Yeah.
Right. If you're unwilling to be patient, it's not going to happen. You can't be a good leader so you can be a good follower.
Yeah.
And you have to embrace that when it comes to our political process. So whatever it is going to be, I mean, we talk about Dr. King. We could talk about how the differences between SNCC and the LCLC and all that stuff. But they had one common goal.
Yeah.
To get us to vote.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we have to define, like we've all been talking around, what is our one singular goal? We have to define what that is in order for everyone to get behind it. Because without that one goal, without that one point in the spear, it's always going to be a frayed approach. And it's never, I won't say never, it's a lot more challenging to get anything done if we don't have a singular mission.
Correct.
Yes.
And maybe Dr. Roland Martin, if he's listening, if he's watching, maybe that's the next call. You do one in each city and say, listen, we've thought about the different issues that face black men. It's healthcare, it's education, it's jobs, it's business, whatever. These are the top 5 issues that we found. Black men in this city, what's important to you? Black men in this city, what's important to you? And go to the major cities around the country, targeting black men specifically, just like we did on Monday. I mean, I was in 2 minutes and it was full with 20,000 people in 8 minutes, 9 minutes, or couldn't get in no more.
Yeah, right? Absolutely.
So we could do it, right? We could put a rally. I mean, the girls got 44,000 on their first call.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we can do it, but we have to make that singular approach. Okay, black men, we know we're all different. We know we all got different wants, but these are the 5 things we're focusing on right now. We're gonna pick one, and then we're gonna hammer the hell out of it until it gets done.
Yeah.
And when that gets done,
then we do the next one.
And I think that's the language that we have to. You guys are watching. This is not the Grown Man Podcast, but we are members of Remain, national and international organization committed to the advancement of black males. And one of the things I wanted to just kind of highlight, we got about 6 minutes left, is that, brothers, because Remain is the premier organization for black males. It is the organization that is agreed to be comprehensive in its approach. Shout out to all of the organizations that are doing great work. But my mom told me that it's a poor frog that won't praise his own pond. Remain is on the ground. It is in the rooms. It is doing the work around black male advancement, and has been and will be for the rest of its existence. This is not a fly-by-night organization that decided to do something real cute and then drop off the scene. We are not a organization that is only viable during political season. We are an organization that is here, and we're here to stay. You're gonna have to deal with this, right?
Mhm.
So what I'm saying to brothers that I've heard both of my brothers say today is that we're going to have to make sure that we are coming together, that because your issue, let's say that your issue is the family issue, the child support issue, if that doesn't become the tip of the spear, I like what Coach said, if that doesn't become the tip of the spear, we'll get to it, stay connected, learn to push another part, and then we'll get to the thing, that because all of it's got to be done. This is what we know. All of it has to be done, but we're going to have to really prioritize the things that we do in this moment, the things that we do next year, 4 years from now, 8 years from now, 20 years from now, and 50 years from now when I'm perhaps not here, right? We got to set some priority to the work that we're doing. Coach, I want to give you final comments, and Leroy, I want to give you final comments. And Leroy, you can share whatever you were about to share in your final comments. Then I'll close this out so we can get out of here.
Yeah.
At the beginning and end of the day, gentlemen, our focus has to be on Black men and supporting Black men in the means that we indicate. But if Black men want to be focused on, worked on, built together, and built stronger, we have to build ourselves together, right? We can't do the shit by ourselves, right? So we have to make that decision and determination that your goal is my goal and my goal is your goal. Absolutely. And not whose is more important than the other, because they're both important. It's more about can we rally around each one of our goals and make that as important as our own. I guess that makes sense. Finding the right way to do that is the answer. And I think having that type of call like we did on Monday night on short notice, right? Because she was announced on Sunday, and on Monday night, 20,000 men showed up. I mean, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
So the power of the internet is real, brothers. And if we can do that in each of the major cities around the country and find the cause and make that the cause, we'll be seen and heard because we'll be directed and we will be on the same accord. You know, they say 2 or more gathered together in prayer is stronger than a person by itself. Well, we need to get together, pray on the same thing, and then it'll happen. You know, when we have those divergent issues, yes, God still hears you, but He's a lot louder when we do it all together.
Yeah.
So, man, that's the call. Figure it out. Figure it out together.
Let's all figure it out together. Dr. McKenzie Jr., what say ye, man?
Here's the thing, and we know what the issues are. We just do. We have a list that you've already written. We got the list.
Yes.
And the only cause is okay, which one do we want to go after first? And here's the thing. Once we decide on what the cause will be, that cause gives you the ability to get to the next cause and to get to the open up for the next cause and to open up for the next cause. What our parents and our grandparents did during the civil rights movement gave us the ability to be where we are today.
Yes.
And even before our grandparents, our great grandparents, what they did and what they suffered through gave our grandparents the ability to be able to go through what they did. So understand that the cause, we're going to get to the causes, but we got to understand it can't be a thing where everything can't get done at one time. But one opens up to the next one. And we've got to understand it. But we got to have, and I hate using these movie analogies and everything like that, from the movie Drumline. He said, there's one band, one sound.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what it's got to be. It's got to be that one band, that one sound that we collectively, we're going to have our different ideas and our different, things that we want to do. But we understand that I believe we get this at Memory Man, because you said, I'm not my brother's keeper. I am my brother. It's bigger than any one of us.
Absolutely.
It's bigger than any one of us. This is bigger than any one of us. If we're going to get somewhere and move the needle As our illustrious leader always says, we're trying to move the needle. That's all.
Yeah, tremendous points. Those of you that are still watching by YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, yeah, LinkedIn. Thank you. Yes, thank you for commenting and being a part of the conversation today. It matters, right? Um, what you'll see at the bottom of the screen is paypal.me/remand. Um, we have to here's what we found out on Monday, Tuesday, whenever it was. We found out that people will support, men will support. We found out men will support, right? What we have always been challenged with is supporting the issues that are most important to us. And what I'm asking you to do is to donate to Remand. Shout out to the way that Monday was done, because 650,000 went to the Harris campaign, 650,000 went to grassroots organizations that are
Mhm.
absolutely on the ground doing the work, and making sure they get GOTV, get the vote, get out the vote, right? That work that are oftentimes underfunded, many
Correct.
times not funded at all, right?
Right.
And so I love the way that happened. If you're watching the call today and you're saying, Donald, how can we help? Yeah, so donate to Remand, right? And also understand that there is a gala coming up in October, um, October the 19th of this year, Remand, the Heart and Soul of a Man, where we will be releasing the agenda, right? For everyone to recognize this is what's important to brothers. And that's why I need you inside the Remain community. I need you sharing with us the things that are important to you. If there's something that is not listed on the agenda that we have, I want you to share it with us. Hey, this is important. It's not listed. Like someone added education. Education wasn't really there. Cedric Nelms added education. And he's not just talking about education of young boys, he's talking about the education of men, even if that, excuse me, that education is non-traditional education. Not everybody's going to go to college. We understand that. Not everybody's going to go to university, but you can't advance, bruh, without education, some form of it, whether that's coaching, doesn't matter. You're going to have some form of education in order to advance our communities. So I'm asking those of you that are watching, if you're watching by replay, do me a favor, hashtag replay, go to paypal.me/remand and donate to the organization, the nonprofit that is advancing the issues of adult Black men, because we need your treasure, we need your talent, we need your time, if we are going to really continue to keep at the forefront of political apparatus, the issues of adult Black males. I want to celebrate Coach Walter Sellers, who's with us today. I want to celebrate Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr., who is with us today. Uh, Dr. Dr. Leroy McKenzie is his dad. He actually says to us, his name is not Leroy McKenzie, it's Leroy McKenzie Jr. I'm your host, Donald Morton, Chief Visionary Officer of Remand. And at Remand, we help Black businessmen interrupt patterns, disrupt behaviors, break the vicious cycles of missed potential so that we master life, leadership, and legacy. Want to celebrate Remand 5 years strong. Celebration of Black male life, leadership, and legacy. We doing the damn thing. And I wish I had some music. Ain't no stopping us now, right? Make sure
They bringing back all the old songs, ain't they?
that all the old songs. Um, and we're looking forward to working with you, brothers. We're looking forward to working with you, sisters. We need you to donate. We need you to give us your time. We need you to give your talent for the advancement of brothers that would not otherwise be advanced if it were not for the work that we are doing inside Remain. We're excited about our futures. Enjoy your day, gentlemen. And we will talk soon. Love and respect. Let's rise
Yes,
and
sir.
what God's called us to reclaim. Talk soon.
Deuces.
The Reman Project is a coaching and consulting firm specializing in personal and leadership development for adult Black males, seeking to break the vicious cycle of missed potential so that they themselves transform their personal lives, their sense of leadership to their families, and their legacies that they want to leave for business and culture. We destroy this cycle on two fronts. We confront both the institution and the individual. We address the institution because, according to the statistics, Black males are under assault and are targeted for extinction in ways that their white counterparts are not. We're over incarcerated and undereducated. There are systems in place, political systems, media systems, and religious systems that serve as intentional, or some say unintentional, barriers to the Black male's advancement. As a result, we work to raise public awareness about issues confronting Black males, promote healthy and positive images about Black males, curate spaces to share information and resources about programs, services, and support for Black males, support knowledge creation and dissemination around these issues, and provide a forum for Black males to both speak and act for themselves. We address the individual Black male because we cannot avoid personal responsibility. We are now overmothered and underfathered. We make bad social choices, and we avoid responsibility for getting ourselves out from under the social plight that we face. We will develop the moral compass and character necessary to face the adverse realities that are faced in everyday life. We live by the premise that even that which is not our fault is still our responsibility. In 2019, we answered the call to transform the culture one man at a time. Our society, our families, and men in particular, are in a state of crisis. And the goal of the Reman Project is to curate the largest, strongest, and dopest community of Black males in the entire world. We then create awareness and action against the institutional and individual impediments that exist against the foundation of our culture and overall society, which is the Black male.